So the NBA trade deadline came and went a couple of weeks ago, and it would be absolutely retarded to replay any of that stuff. But one specific trade that didn't really make a whole lot of sense ended up occurring, but Enes Kanter ended up getting traded, or Enes Kanter Freedom, sorry, he changed his last name, like Meta World Peace, run our test, whatever, stupid shit aside, but whatever, he was providing some good play, in fact, for the Celtics, and the Celtics are in a competitive-ish Eastern Conference. I think they're sitting in 6th right now or something, and they could use a good big man, and that's what Enes Kanter is. He's a good big man. He was having a good season. So for him to get traded to the Rockets, who are literally the worst team in the fucking league, didn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of basketball sense, especially for one team that is looking at the playoffs and another team that is hoping for a miracle, somebody to show up in the draft. But it makes a little bit more sense when you put everything into context. Enes Kanter is an activist, okay? Kind of transitioned into being more of a cause pusher than really being anybody totally dedicated to being on court. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said before, he was putting in some good work this season. Like, I got his season stats pulled up, and they were pretty comparable to some of his career highs, okay? Career highs and career averages at least, and he was providing good work off the bench. And even though the Eastern Conference is going through this whole small ball gimmick, a good big man at 6'10", they're hard to come by. They don't grow on trees, for fuck's sakes. So it didn't really make a whole lot of sense for them to just, ship him off to Houston, only for them to waive him, so he's without a job right now. And has been since, I guess, whenever he cleared waivers after February 10th. So what's he been doing? Well, doubling down on his activism. And nothing wrong with that. And again, the NBA loves an activist, just not this type of activist, okay? Because he's the guy with the funny shoes who's out there speaking against China. And China lines the pockets of the NBA like nobody else, okay? So if he would have just been saying, oh, Black Lives Matter, or all MAGA people are racist and evil, well, he would have had a job for life. He would have been able to just, sneak into the Naismith Hall of Fame, which the Hall of Fame for the NBA is pretty fucking pathetic. You just play for 10 years and you basically get fucking grandfathered in. It's a terrible, terrible Hall of Fame, but criticisms of that disaster aside, he's not just sitting on his thumb waiting for somebody to, I don't know, keep it in game shape and just hoping that somebody signs him in the offseason. Somebody picks him up on a 10-day contract for a playoff run. No, he's just gonna double down on calling the CCP a bunch of genocidal tyrants, based as hell. I have no regrets. Enes Kanter Freedom ousted from the NBA. He's good enough to be playing on any fucking championship aspiring team, 100%. Okay, he's still only 29, okay? Like, this guy isn't washed up. He was a top 10 draft pick the past decade. Like, he's good. He's really fucking talented. It's just he has too much baggage. Wrong type of activist baggage. Vows to continue speaking out against CCP's abuses. Basketball player Enes Kanter. I'm not calling him Enes Kanter Freedom. That's nice and everything that he wants to have the little extra last name, but I remember him as Enes Kanter, okay? Who was reportedly recently nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Again, wouldn't it be a boon, okay? You have an active player in your fucking league who is nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, but it's for the wrong reason, so we're not going to bring him on. Like, fuck's sakes. This is wild. Received a warm welcome from U.S. senators at an award ceremony last week for his continued activism against the Chinese Communist Party's human rights abuses. You can talk all about social justice, all the injustices happening all around the world, but when it comes to China, you cannot speak up. Freedom said of the NBA at an award ceremony hosted by the advocacy group Committee on Present Danger China on February 17th in Washington. If you do, then you have to face the consequences. Kanter was released by the Houston Rockets soon after being traded from the Boston Celtics on February 10th. He was one of the highest rated backup centers statistically in the NBA, and he believes that his activism cost him his career. I would have to say so. I've looked at the numbers, and we can go back to the page here, and I know that it's not necessarily the best framing just on the article, but of course the links for all that good shit will be in the description. He hasn't fallen off, okay? Like, he was coming off the bench, and even still, after the 2020-2021 season, he was posting big fucking numbers, and he was doing really well coming off the bench, and 6'10 is always going to play if 6'10 can play. None of it really adds up from a statistical point of view, but that's not what the NBA is concerned with. I want to tell you guys I have no regrets, Freedom said, noting that there are more important things besides money in business, such as morals, principles, and values. He probably has plenty of money. Let's be fair, former, top 10 draft pick. 3rd overall pick by the Jazz in 2011, so a little over a decade ago. Sorry, my mistake. Kanter said that after he learned about all of the persecution and human rights violations committed by the CCP, if he didn't speak out against it, he wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Born in Switzerland on May 20th, 1992. Enes Kanter later moved with his family to their native country of Turkey, which he's not allowed to step back in because if you think that he goes hard against the CCP, take a look at his stance when it comes to Erdogan and Turkey as well. Basketball player attracted attention for wearing basketball shoes during the NBA. At the beginning of the season this year, with various works of art that include slogans such as "Free China, Free Tibet," and "Stop Organ Harvesting in China." Oh, but Tibet's free. Yes, so's West China, aka Taiwan. 2019, the China Tribunal, a non-governmental people's tribunal based in London looking into forced organ harvesting in China, found that the CCP had committed crimes against humanity because of its forced harvesting of organs from prisoners of conscience. The tribunal found that the main source of the organs was the imprisoned Falun Gong practitioners. Falun Gong is a spiritual practice that has been brutally persecuted by the Chinese regime for more than 2 decades, but now they've kind of moved on to Uyghur Muslims as well, because they've effectively squashed all of the Falun Gong people, so they need a new group of people because them organs, man, they're still attracting a lot of money. Freedom himself has been persecuted by the Turkish government, despite his representing Turkey in international basketball from U16 competitions to playing senior national team in 2011. He's unable to return to Turkey or travel overseas, where there's a warrant out for his arrest with Interpol because of his open criticism of human rights abuses by the Turkish president, Erdogan, not pronouncing the rest of that. His father has been arrested for the same reason. Oh, fuck. In high school, Kanter declined to play for 2 European basketball franchises and moved to Simi Valley, California in 2009 to attend Stone Ridge Preparatory School and became a 5-star basketball recruit. He committed to the University of Kentucky and was deemed ineligible because he's being paid by a Turkish professional sports club, Fibonacci in his youth. Entered the draft in 2011 and was picked 3rd overall by Utah Jazz. Played 5 seasons with franchise. I played with 5 different franchises. I should read better. Sorry about that. Maybe I should go to an education camp. That might help. His philanthropic work included hosting free basketball camps for the United States, beginning with 16 camps in the summer of 2018, predating all of his activism, or at least his vocal activism. 50 camps were hosted in 2019, and Freedom planned another 50 for 2020, but, reasons. It was at one of the camps that a mother called him out in front of everybody that he learned about the crimes against humanity committed by the CCP. He said at the ceremony, "You call yourself a human rights activist when your Muslim brothers and sisters are in concentration camps and getting tortured and raped every day," Freedom said that the woman told him. I was shocked. I couldn't say anything. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Well, at that time, and does he say specifically when that was? Because the reports started to come out in 2018 and 2019, at least the official reports from BBC, The Guardian, all of those different outlets were starting to post. It's like, yeah, there's concentration camps, but I don't know what the fuck we do about that. Just continue to cash those CCP checks. Yeah, right, baby. Said he turned around to the parent and promised, "I will get back to you." So that day I canceled everything. I went back to my hotel. Oh, that's not very nice. Those kids probably paid to be in those camps, goddammit. Not like the concentration camp, the basketball camps, you know what I mean. I was shocked started to study and then to learn about what's going on over there. The basketball player recalled the aftermath of the 2019 post by then Houston Rockets general manager. He's not there anymore. He's the GM for Philadelphia 76ers now, who managed to move one of the biggest fucking bricklayers and problem children in all of the NBA at the trade deadline. That was the big deal anyways, and he got an expiring contract and somebody who can hopefully just fucking move on with his life afterwards. But yeah, no. He's very, very good at his job. But again, just like Kanter, got moved out of the Houston Rockets, which is a bad place. Okay, if you're going to be criticizing the CCP, the Houston Rockets was the franchise that Yao Ming played his entire career for, that got the foothold into China for the NBA. Just keep that in mind when it comes to all this stuff. But Daryl Morey, who was, yes, the GM of the Rockets at the time, supported the pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong by just simply putting free Hong Kong, and that was way too much, okay? The Twitter post, though swiftly deleted, ignited a firestorm of anger in China, with the Chinese sponsors of the NBA pulling out the deals and disrupting internet streaming of games in the country. Just like when Kanter put on these shoes, I think that was the first game of the home opener, and then magically on the Chinese streaming services, the Boston Celtics games just started to disappear. It was weird. It was almost like the team didn't exist. I wonder why. He said he'll continue to stand up for what he believes in, as his mother taught him to do so when he was young. His father probably would too, but he's being mercilessly beaten in prison, even if that results in him losing everything. Thank fucking God, okay? And now I can give 100% support to this dude, because yeah, he stood up for what he believes in, and yeah, he got, let's be fair, okay? There's nothing that's ever going to be said, or there's nothing that's ever going to be written down when it comes to him being blacklisted from the NBA. He might get a flyer before the end of the year, but I highly fucking doubt anybody's going to sign somebody who's just going to kick off a firestorm, especially for anybody who wants to get some of that sweet postseason money from the CCP in order to stream the games over there. So he's probably on the outside looking in, and it has nothing to do with his basketball talents, because he's still a fucking performer. He's still young enough to be playing in the league. He's exactly the face that the NBA would be pushing. He's an activist athlete. This is wonderful. This is perfect. But oh man, his activism, that shit just hitting a little bit different. So you just go and hang out with your racist GOP buddies and everything will be fine over there. Meanwhile, we'll just be putting Black Lives Matter and please don't burn down the stadium outside. But that's modern day NBA for you. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.